The spectators could see that the Bikini took too sharp of a turn, cutting short of the pylon, which was in front of the spectator stands. To prevent from being disqualified, Bill made a sharp turn back to clear it. As the Bikini came around a second time to clear the pylon, the plane suddenly rolled into a sickening high-speed sound. One of the anticipated highlights of the 1949 air shows was a radical, customized design P-51 Mustang fighter plane called Begin the Bikini, which was named after a Latin and French ballroom dance which became popular in the 1940s. Bill Odom was considered by other pilots as a very stubborn risk-taker. To save travel time, Bill would have so many fuel tanks installed on his plane, which included one mounted under the cockpit seat. This would cause the tires on the Bikini to be in danger of coming off the rims. Because of Bill's large size, he even removed the padding from his crash helmet so he could fit into the tiny cockpit of the Bikini. Originally, Bill signed up for the Pendix race, but because of the Bikini's lack of sufficient range for that particular race, Bill was forced to enter the Thompson-Pilot race course. Surprisingly, Bill won the Ohio race that was held on Saturday, but many observers noticed that the race took a toll on him because he was visibly shaken up. Even more alarming was that some of the other pilots noticed that the Bikini was not taking the pylon turns as it should. The Bikini was a Mustang fighter plane left over from World War II. It was purchased from a junkyard in Wichita Falls, Texas by a popular Beechcraft dealer along with an aerodynamic engineer group. The Mustang was modified into one-of-a-kind revolutionary concept for maximum speed. The team decided to remove the oil radiators from the large belly scoop of the plane to reduce any drag. After cutting back 20% of each wing, they then reinstalled the radiators out on the wingtips, encased in pods. The signature coolant duct located at the bottom of the Mustang was removed and sealed over. A large bob knob was attached to the control stick, and the Mustang's glass bubble cockpit was replaced with a fastened down canopy with a small sliding window on the side for entering the cockpit. It was painted a British deep green with yellow musical staffs painted on the fuselage and radiator pods. The oil cooler installed on the right wing of the plane was 60 pounds heavier than the radiator mounted on the left of the plane. Because the radiators of the plane were moved to the wingtips, water had to be sprayed on it to keep it cool. Another competitor in the Thompson race also removed his large air scoop from the bottom of his P-51D Mustang to reduce drag. He installed the radiators inside his wings of the aircraft where the gun bays would go. Because of this, he would not have to cut back the length of his wings, which helped in maneuvering the plane in tight turns. The intake scoops were installed in the leading edge of the wing, while the exhaust vents were on top of the wings. The Bikini was given the undesirable number 13 for the races. The numbers given to the racers would usually be painted on the side of their planes for audiences to follow with the event programs. Because the number 7 was already painted on the plane, Bill talked the owner of the plane into not destroying the pristine paint job and kept it as is. Bill even refused to wear a G-suit that was offered to him, which helps prevent blood from flowing to the lower extremities during sharp turns, which can cause the pilot to pass out. Before the Thompson race on Labor Day, Bill Odom was so nervously frightened that he could not even concentrate on a flight strategy with his partner, who was flying the blocker plane. They were planning to block the other plane so Bill could take the lead in the third round. At the beginning of the Thompson race, Bill was in tight formation with the Galloping Ghost. When the two planes were neck and neck, Steve looked over at Bill and saw a terrifying look on his face as if pleading for help, but then suddenly lost sight of him. The spectators could see that the Bikini took too sharp of a turn, cutting short of the pylon, which was in front of the spectator stands. To prevent from being disqualified, Bill made a sharp turn back to clear it. As the Bikini came around a second time to clear the pylon, the plane suddenly rolled into a sickening high-speed sound. Spectators noticed that the plane was at a 60-degree angle, putting the plane completely sideways. Observers noticed a compulsive jerk of the plane as Odom tried to correct the situation.
Airshow reaches its climax in the Thompson Trophy race, this year flown over a wider course to eliminate sharp turns. But a sudden news flash sends our cameramen racing for Berea, Ohio, 12 miles away, where Captain Bill Odom, round-the-world flyer, crashes into a house at 400 miles an hour, killing himself, a young mother, and her infant son. As these pictures are made, the race itself goes on. Cook Cleveland, averaging nearly 400 miles an hour, wins what may be, because of the tragedy, the last of such races.
Witnesses, blocks away from where the plane went down, saw it disappear between the houses on Beeler and Franklin Street, in a subdivision of Berea. They saw it go down immediately after hearing a splashing sound as if water was hitting the pavement. Mr. and Mrs. Laird and their 2 children had just moved into their new $16,000 home the previous Wednesday. During the Thompson race, Mrs. Laird was in the kitchen washing dishes while her husband was outside watering the newly planted flowers. 13-month-old Greg was playing in the playpen in the driveway while the grandfather looked on. After hearing an explosion, a neighbor who lived across the street from the Laird's home ran around to the front of the house to see the landing gear of the Beguini's plane sitting on his front porch with the tires on fire. The landing gear stopped just a few feet away from where his children were sleeping on the living room couch. The Beguini crashed into the garage roof of the Laird's home and through the concrete foundation, taking Bill Odom's body more than 4 feet into the earth. The force of the explosion blew Mrs. Laird's body into the bathroom off the kitchen, killing her instantly. The explosion caught the house on fire, including the playpen where little Gregory was in. The grandfather was burned on his hands and face as he tried to rescue the burning infant. An off-duty police officer took off his shirt to cover the child as he stopped a passing automobile to have the child rushed to Memorial Hospital. Unfortunately, the baby succumbed to its injuries 3 hours later. As neighbors tried to help, the 9 other race planes flew steadily overhead. As the Berea Fire Department arrived to put out the flames, souvenir hunters raced to the pillar of smoke to pillage the area. The National Guard was called in to control the 7,500 spectators that assembled at the site. Local residents who lived in the 15-mile radius around the airport prepared a petition to have the show shut down indefinitely. The terrible crash marked the end of the closed course racing. Eventually, the Airshow returned to Cleveland in 1964. The Burke Lakefront Airport, built in 1947, provided a site well removed from residential areas. So, those magnificent pilots and their flying machines returned to the city of Cleveland in 1964 as the Cleveland National Airshow, and continue to be a yearly tradition every Labor Day.